Hello Vipers, today we're going to cover how to edit an HTML email in VipeCloud. So to start, you'll want to go into VipeCloud and you'll find your email templates under templates right here. And we're going to skip over a couple of the organizational aspects of email templates in VipeCloud in this video because that is going to be covered in another video. So we go here to email. And we've got our email templates right here. You'll want to remember that there are two tabs here, My Templates and Shared with Me. So if you're working for, or if you work with an agency that provides email templates for you, you might find these in here. And for more information on all of that, just go to the email organization video. So we're going to go into an HTML email right here by clicking on it. The builder will load up. And now we're able to work with this template right here. So there are a couple basic things that you'll want to kind of keep in mind here with how this is all laid out. So we've got the template right here, and we know that this is an editable template because as you can see when I'm moving my mouse around, you can see these squares that are opening up around there, showing the various blocks and the options that you have. So the template's all right here. You'll see merge tags like this, and those will be merged with names provided that there is that contact data within the system. And then off to the left, we have appearance and content. So appearance right here, you're probably not going to work with this quite as much as you are with the content itself. This is a little bit more behind the scenes stuff. So we're going to be focusing on the content here. And another thing that you want to be aware of is just like the overall layout and the visibility of things. Where we go over here, you'll see that we've got one scroll bar right here, and then we've got another one right here. And so sometimes there might be, if you're scrolled down, there might be options for editing the text that are kind of hidden because of this being down and hiding what's up there. So for an idea of what I'm talking about here, I'm going to click in here, which is then going to open up the rich text editing. So for instance, if I wanted to make something into bold, that might be hidden because if my screen has been scrolled down, I'm wondering how do I make this, some of this text into bold? Well, to do that, I just have to scroll up a little bit, and I will see this right here. So all of this stuff right here is going to be pretty something you're probably pretty familiar with, based on working with Gmail and things like that. But just for a little overview, this right here is going to help you with changing the size of the text. Or more like the if it's a heading or whatnot, like kind of like the category that it has in the HTML. You're probably not going to work with that too much. Right here, you can change the font. Here's the font size. So see here are the colors right here for the text color, the background color. Bold, italic, underline, underscore. These are all pretty basic things. If you want to make an HTML link, you'll get that right here. And you can see right here, I clicked on this, and then it opens up over here where I can make that into a link. And then one thing that's going to be pretty key here, if you're using merge tags, you'll find them right here, and you can just simply scroll down. For the basics, like for instance, if you want to put your signature in there, you can just use the signature merge tag. All right, so let's go over. So we've got structures and blocks, and then modules. So the way this works is the structures are for adding a foundation to the HTML builder. So what I mean by that is it's basically kind of like it's sort of like columns essentially. So for instance, if I wanted to add something in here that maybe has, let's say, some text on one side and an image on the other, what I want to do is come over here and grab one of these structures that has 2 columns in it. So I click, I hold, I come over here, and then you see how it says drop here. As I move around, this is going to give me the various options of where I can drop it. And so let's put this right here. And now we got this structure here, drop content here, drop content here. You'll see that it gives me these little options for image, text, and button. Those are just little quick options, basically, if I wanted it, because those are going to be very common options that people go for. You can use those if it fits your particular need, but you're not limited to those. So let's go back over to the left side right here, where it's still showing the structures. What I'm then going to do is add a block, and the blocks are, so I click on block, and now it gives me all of these different options that I can put in there. And again, this is all drag and drop. So let's drag one over. Actually, I'm going to show you guys videos. So I'm clicking on video, drag this over, and what you want to do is just watch how the template reacts. So for instance, right now I'm near the block, and you might think that I might go in there, but it actually isn't going to. You want to wait for that confirmation. There we go, where it says drop here, and it's showing that where you want it to go. And now I can add a video there. And so then I wanted to get some text over here. I could click on that to put text in there, but I'm going to do it just this other way that's a little bit more general. So coming over here, clicking on text, dragging it over, again, paying attention to where it says drop here. And so it says drop here right there. That's where I want it to go. And now there's text. And so here's where we get into editing the actual content in the builder. So what you always want to do before you're going to change anything, edit anything, you first need to click into where you want to change things. Because right now I can't do anything with these without at first clicking in them. So I click on where it says video, and if you've noticed, it's just changed over here. I'm gonna, in case you missed that, I'm gonna show you that again. So I'm actually gonna go to where it says text. I'm gonna click on that. Oh, it's actually not changing that, but here, I'm going to show you something where, okay, it doesn't change it for text, but here's this button. I'm going to click on the button, and now that changes over there. So again, click on video. Now it gives me the video editing options in here. Here's the button. I click on the button. Now this changes for the options for the button in there. So we're going to go into the video right here. And here are all of our various options here. So you've got a couple different options for videos where you can link to a video that's on a place like YouTube or Vimeo, or you can also choose a video that is already loaded into VipeCloud. So for instance, if you work with an agency that creates videos for you and they share them with you, that's where you'll get those. Otherwise, if there are videos that you upload to YouTube yourself or just something on YouTube that you want to share, you can just grab the link and put that in here. But what we're going to do is choose a video that is in VipeCloud, that's in my content library. And it's this right here, a GIF demo video. Also, by the way, here it's shared with me. So if you're working with an agency that shares videos with you, you'll find them in here. You'll see the lists. You can also always search right there. And then there are, you can also work with the video link as well. So once you have the video that you want to use, then click on the video. There we go. It's loaded in there. Just a little side note, by the way, this is you can actually see this cool feature that we've got with VipeCloud, where it actually has a thumbnail that is a GIF that automatically plays. That's a great way to get the attention of your audience. But yeah, so here's the video right here. You can select various different play buttons that you want to get in there. I think there we go. So it looks like the play button does actually it stops the autoplay of the GIF. And of course, also you got custom thumbnails you can put in there. That's if you've got a thumbnail that you want to, or something that you want to have display as the thumbnail to draw the attention of your recipient. You can do that, and you can see right here. This is where you can drop images in, and then for all the different kinds of options that you might want to use, you can find these all along right here. So we're still looking in at the options for the video or for the block itself right here. And to get out of that, then you click on back. And then here's the text. And for editing text, that's all really pretty simple stuff. I'm just going to click right in there. And yep, so we've got all these different options here for the alignment and all that. Although for text editing, you want to generally default to up here. This is where all of your options are really going to be. You can edit the text, create bullet points, like that. And yeah, and then so a couple other options in here as well that you'll want to be aware of. So as you can see, when we're clicking in here, we've got these little sliders that kind of open up, give us different options. This right here is for moving, for copying, and for deleting. And also something to be mindful of as well is just like you see how there are little like these boxes that open up around here. So right now I've got a box that's around the text editor, but if I move the mouse a little bit farther away, now we got this bigger structure right here where this all opens up as well. And so basically, like, the way that works is that this right now, these are options for this whole big structure. Because if you remember, when we started off with this, we dragged this structure over that has 2 columns to it. And so this is all one structure. So for instance, if I want to copy it, I click on copy, and it copies everything as is. And so that's a great time saver. So if you've got structures that you want to repeat going down the form, you can do it that way and save a good deal of time. And then also right here we've got move. So for instance, let's say I want something kind of similar to this, but I want it down a little bit further. What I'll do is, again, make sure that it has the whole structure selected. Come over here. There's move. Click on it. Hold down. And now, again, like before, we can see where it says drop here. And so that is where it says drop here. That's our guideline for where this is actually going to wind up. So pay more attention to where it says drop here than where the little square is. So let's say I want to put it down at the bottom right here. It says drop here. I let go. It's no longer up here. Now it's down here. And lastly, let's say I want to change my mind about this. I can go right here where it says delete. Click delete, and it's gone. So then another thing too is when you want to delete some of the blocks that are in here, you can do them one at a time. So again, we want to pay attention to where the square is around here, and that will tell us if we are selecting the entire structure or if we are selecting just one particular block. So let's say that I want to get an image in here instead of this video. Then I want to put the mouse into where the video is, and then go to the 3 dots, move over until it says delete. And what you'll notice is the structure is still here. And then we'll go over here to the image, click on it, hold down, drag it along over here, pay attention to where it says drop here. Actually, I'm going to cover one thing here as well. So you'll notice that there's the drop here up at the top and the drop here at the bottom. the drop here at the top is going to go into this container here. The drop here at the bottom, it's going to go below it. So, oh, it actually didn't do that. That's interesting. I think it would have done that if there was still an item in there. Like if I'd left the, here, actually, I'm gonna try that again. Dragging an image over. So we got an image block here, image block there. There we go. So I stand corrected. I thought it was going to do this to start. So, so I guess if there is an existing block there and you drag it over and it has the drop here on the bottom, and there's something already existing on top, then it will actually stack them on top of each other. Otherwise, it'll just drop it in that existing spot right there. So we're going to delete this one. Got an image. And so how do we put an image in there? Well, we have to first click in there to start. So we click in there. And now we have a bunch of different options here for images. You can grab images that are shared with you. Or you can also click in there and it will, let's see, then it will open up a little browser for you to put an image in there. Otherwise, you can just drag and drop. And so you guys aren't going to be able to see this, but I'm going to just grab an image to drop into where it says drop images here. So I'm just browsing. Here, I'm going to take a VipeCloud logo. So I'm dropping it over here. You probably can't see this in the recording, but I'm clicking, I'm dropping. Now it's showing us the logo. And we have a couple different options here for how we can edit this. Like if we want to make it into a link, say, it's a link to VipeCloud.com. And that will be trackable. So when people click on that, we'll know. And then also, let's say we want to, well, a couple options here actually. Like if we want to edit the image, can click on that. It'll open up an image editor. We can, for instance, put a frame on it. Just make that a little less. There we go. Putting a frame on it. Saving. And now it'll have that. And then also, of course, if we want to change it, you just click right here to change it. Go through the same process that you went through to get it in there in the first place. Another important block is the spacer block. And so what the spacer block does is it helps with just kind of defining the structures within the email. So, whether that be, here, I'll show you. I'm going to grab this. I'm going to put a spacer between here and there. So again, paying attention to where it says drop here. That's where we want it. So now it'll put that little spacer line right there. And so to edit it, of course, we click on it to open up our options. And there are a couple different things we can do. We can make it thicker by adding it like that. Or another ability that you have with spacers that I'm a big fan of is making it into where it's called a dynamic spacer. It's an overly complicated name. What that really means is it's just literally blank space between sections. So if you have sections that are touching where you think it would look better to add a little bit of space between them, it's either a regular spacer like this that you might want, or it might just be dynamic spacers. So this little toggle right here, we click on that. And now you can see right here, we got it where it is no longer visible. And we have this option right here where you notice the mouse now has arrows pointing up and down. We click, drag, and now we can add more space between these. And then again, to get back out of this, we click on back. We're still in blocks. And I mean, these are generally going to be the most common things you're going to want are images, spacers, text, buttons, all of that. Oh, we can also cover a button. So for buttons, you want to click, drag, put it right there. These are going to be like calls to action, things like that, sign up now, learn more here, things like that. And so you click on the button, and then here's where you can add whatever link you want. I mean, by button we mean a link that people can click on. It's like a little call to action. So let's put in the VipeCloud. Oh, let's get back to this. The VipeCloud scheduler. So I just went to another tab. I copied that. I'm going to paste that in there. And now this is going to be a link that will take people to my scheduler. And you can change the button label. Right now it just says button. Oops. All right, so that just disappeared on me. So again, how do we get back to where we edit that? We click on the item itself that we want to edit. That's how you get back to whatever it is that you want. Button name. Schedule a meeting. You can change the text, the size, the button color. Maybe you want to make it a little bit more on brand. You can do that. You can change the text color. And we've got lots of different options here. Things like adjust to width. Again, like these right here are selectors, basically, toggles. So, I want to have it adjust to width. Go over here, click on that, makes it wide. You'll see instances of padding, and what padding means is spacing is really what that is. So we got our internal padding. So you see how I'm clicking on that, I'm adding to the top, adding to the bottom. It's a crazy look, but gives you an idea of what that would do. A more common kind of padding, a little bit, would be with external padding. So that'll get rid of this margin here, or add to it. That was interesting. It won't let me go further than that. But yeah, so you can adjust just the spacing, things like that. And then also, you'll notice here where I'm scrolling, got all these different windows here. That's always something you want to be mindful of. Is all of the different windows. If you can't see something you're looking for, it might be because this slider is not all the way up or it's not all the way down. So yep, you can save things by clicking on save. It's going through this, or like by clicking on save, you're going to save the template without leaving the template. A slightly hidden feature that will probably make a little bit more visible in time. Notice if I put the mouse over here, we got all the different saves. So here, if I click on that, got all the different save versions. It's a little bit more advanced, but basically, like if you're saving the template and then you realize you've really messed things up and you want to get back to where you were, you can go here and you'll see these different options. So right now, this is the last save was when I started with this presentation. So we're going all the way back there. But to get back to the current version, it's right here, and we got all of our information right there. And then click right here to get back out of the version history. But the key save that you're going to use most of the time is with the save and return to email templates. That's kind of like the go-to. And what that does is it saves everything you've got, and it goes back to the earlier version. And then also just like one last thing too that we're going to cover more in other videos as well. But we've got the edit template details. And so we click right there. Now, if you've been a long-time user, you're probably familiar with having these controls having been in a screen that was like prior to the HTML template. It was like outside of the HTML drag and drop builder. But what this is for the template title, which is your internal title. We call it March campaign or something like that. You can choose which folders you'll have it in, which is good for keeping it organized. And then we've got the subject, and the subject is what the recipients will actually see in the email subject, like that. And then to save it, click on Save Template Details. To get out, you could just hit cancel if you don't want to save what you've added. And then everything here is saved. And then send test to yourself is a great thing to do before you ever send any templates out. Click on send test to yourself, and you'll be able to confirm that everything looks as you hoped it would. And then also, so yeah, once you're done with everything, just click on save and return to email templates, and then everything will be saved. And yeah, if you have any, hopefully that covers everything. There is more to it, but hopefully those are the basics and everything that you need to get started. So if you have any questions at all, never hesitate to reach out. We're always here to help.